Hello and welcome to our April Teen Crafternoon. This month we are going to be making a stress squishy ball you can kind of squeeze out your frustrations with using a take and make kit from the Cedar Mill Library. And Bethany also has these. So in your kit you will have a baggie with a tablespoon of cornstarch inside. You will have an empty balloon, and you will have a plain piece of paper. So to start, we're going to want to put the cornstarch in the balloon. I included the paper so that you can make your own funnel if you don't have one to use at home. You can just kind of roll it up like this so that you've got a skinny end that'll fit inside your balloon, like that. And you can kind of let the top widen out a little bit so that you have somewhere to put your cornstarch. If you've got like a plastic funnel at home, that works just as well. The wider the opening, the better. That kind of lets the cornstarch get through a little easier. And I'll be using both today because we're going to add some water once we've added our cornstarch. And I want to be able to show you on camera rather than going to my sink. So kind of sprinkle your cornstarch bag, get it all ready to pour. And this is kind of a messy craft, so just try to be careful. Maybe you put down a towel so you don't make too much of a mess, or do the whole thing over the sink. That is a good idea too. So the camera's having trouble focusing, but I am just kind of coaxing my cornstarch out of my funnel, or out of my bag into the funnel. It is spilling a little bit. If you have someone to help you, so that someone holds the funnel and the other person holds the bag of cornstarch, that might make it go a little smoother. But you can do it by yourself. It just takes a little determination. All right, so I think that's all I'm going to get out of the bag. Let's see if you can see inside my funnel. You can see it's kind of in the bottom there. So I'm going to shake it and get it to kind of go in. And kind of squish the bottom so that the powder comes through. Keep squishing, keep shaking. It can take it some time, but it will come out. And you can even kind of unfurl a little bit, make it a little wider so it has more room. All right. And it will drop some out the sides. Whoop, for a lot. This is a messy craft. But as long as you've got some inside there, and then I'm gonna grab my waterproof plastic funnel, but this is a step where you would go to your sink. And you can stretch the mouth of the balloon around your faucet, if your faucet's small enough to get a nice good seal on there. Or if your faucets are too big, you can just try to carefully pour in water. So we're just gonna do a tiny, tiny bit, really small amount of water, because this cornstarch is very light. And if you do anything too quickly with it, it'll just poof up into the air and get all over everything. So I'm just kind of squishing the cornstarch and water around in the bag to get it mixed so that it's a little bit muddier and not straight powder. That'll make it easier to work with. And then I'm just going to keep adding a little bit of water at a time and squishing. Add some more water, squish. And it'll kind of start feeling like mud, and then it'll kind of start feeling like a thicker fluid. And once you can't really feel it anymore, it just feels like water, you can go ahead and carefully add water to fill your balloon most of the rest of the way. You really only want it full enough so that the round part here has water, and you want to leave the skinny stem part of the balloon empty, because that we'll need that to tie our knot. And if that's full of water, water is going to get everywhere when you start tying your knot. All right, so I can feel it's kind of in the stem part here, just at the beginning. So I'm going to stop filling it. I'm going to pull out my funnel. And I'm going to pull my fingers down to make sure all the water is inside the balloon. None's going to squirt out from here. And wrap it around my finger and tie it. And the tying can be tricky. You might need someone to help you with that step if you're having trouble. Definitely, if you're not sure about your balloon tying skills, do it over the sink because that part can get really messy too. And then you will have a slightly cornstarch covered stress ball. You can go wash it off. And over time, the cornstarch will kind of settle into a little lump, and then you can just squish it and get it mixed back in the water again and keep squishing. All right, so that's our craft this month. We hope to see you next month when we do something else creative.